All right. As far as card choices go in the deck, since we're using Mind's Eye, I wanted to include at least a couple of ways to boost our willpower. So we have 4 of Cups and we have Police Badge as good ways to do that, as well as Police Badge giving us additional actions, which will be critical in solo. Some other cards that kind of go with Mind's Eye are Encage the Soul and anything that makes us use skill, has us do a skill test. Jesus Christ, it's early. And yeah, we're trying out Paradoxical Covenant here. I figured Sister Mary is probably one of the better investigators for this covenant, because not only does she just have easy access to adding a bunch of blessed tokens, but Mystics also have ways of actually like getting additional tokens per test. So her card pool, I think, really meshes well with this covenant. And apart from Tempt Fate, we also have Promise of Power and our 2 weaknesses to add curse tokens to the bag. So that's kind of our plan, is that we can kind of hopefully we'll be able to pretty quickly fill the bag with blessed tokens and use those to pass tests, and then hopefully we can kind of use the curse tokens as a means of automatically succeeding as well. I mean, that's the game plan. Hopefully it goes well. We'll see. Let's hop into the game here, because I've got it all set up already. Let's go ahead and give everything a shuffle. So I've never played this before, so I have no idea what goes on. Hopefully I don't mess anything up too bad. So let's see what we got going on here. You are far away from home, and the spell of the Eastern Sea is upon you. It is the Yuletide that men call Christmas, though they know in their hearts it is older than Bethlehem and Babylon, older than Memphis and mankind. You are the only one who came back this winter's night to the old fishing town as legends bade, for only the poor and lonely remember. Prepare for your arrival in your ancestral home of Kingsport just in time for Christmas. The arrival of a mysterious letter in barely legible handwriting rouses you from your armchair by the fire. The words are from a distant relative demanding your presence at a holiday celebration in Kingsport. The letter speaks obscurely of an old family ritual and an ancestral duty being conferred to you. The name of your ancestral home stirs a longing in you. Oh, hey, penguins. Merry Christmas. Let's see here. There is an urgency in the archaic scrawl, a seeming dread. Nonsense, you think, grabbing your scarf. It would be good to be with family at Christmas time. A hired car takes you to the train station, and from there you ride east away for the day. The snow falling thickly on bare trees that seem to twist and writhe away from the rails. You arrive in Arkham by twilight, but the conductor informs you that the deep snow prevents further passage onward until the morning. Feeling anew the urgency of the letter, you decide to walk the 2 miles to Kingsport, along deserted country roads and then winding up even higher into the seaside cliffs, like the backbone of some great slouching beast. The snow finally stops as you crest the hill, stars glimmering sickly above while the sea pounds against the rocks below. Turning beyond the hill, you see Kingsport outspread frostily in the gloaming. Neat. So I'm assuming all this is done in TTS, but let's see. So we've got Stygian Grotto out of play. Each investigator begins play at Orange Point. Where the heck is Orange Point? Oh, it's way over here. This map is huge, my goodness. Jesus. Well, you can see why they would recommend you play it with at least 2 to 3 players. Yeah, true. It is a good map for those cards. Let's see. Set the following cards aside out of play. Set all 8 copies of the cloaked figures aside in their own deck. Anytime cloaked figures are removed from play, return them to the set aside deck. Place X cloaked figures at the White Church according to the amount of investigators. With just a single investigator, it's 0. Okay. Shuffle the remaining encounter cards to build the encounter deck. Okay. Take the previously set aside 3 Grimoire cards along with the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and shuffle them and place 1 card under each town location in play. Okay. So 1 goes here. I'm assuming here. Here. Water Street. It is a Christmas tree. Look at that. And it's got the little thing there. I don't know what this thing on the side here is, though. But that's fine. Alright, I think that's it for that. And then I'm assuming that's it. Alright. That's the Festivus pole along the side. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. So what's our objective here? So we've got all these cards underneath the various locations here. There, snowy Kingsport with its ancient vanes and steeples, ridgepoles and chimney pots, wharves and small bridges, willow trees and graveyards, endless labyrinths of steep, narrow, crooked streets and dizzy church-crowned central peak that time durst not touch. Ceaseless mazes of colonial houses piled and scattered at all angles and levels like a child's disordered blocks. Antiquity hovering on gray wings over white-wintered gables and gambrel roofs. Fan lights and small paned windows, one by one gleaming out in the cold dusk to join Orion and the archaic stars. And against the rotting wharves, the sea pounds, the secretive, immemorial sea. Wow, goodness. The snow has subsided for now, but a cold northern wind warns a greater storm on the way. Threatening to blot out the craggy peaks about the town. So we have a doom threshold of 5. And let's see. As an action, we have to spend 2 clues and reveal Green Lane. And as another action, we spend 2 clues and reveal the strange high house in the mist. When an investigator enters Green Lane, we advance. Yeah, seriously. The type is very small, too. Thank goodness you can zoom in. The printless road is very lonely, and you seem to hear a distant, horrible creaking as if of a gibbet in the wind. A story returns to a 4 kinsmen of yours who had been hanged for witchcraft in 1692. Beside the road, a trail leads up to a plateau filled with jutting black stones. Beyond, a higher summit of rock seems to float in the sky above a thickening mist, and there, teetering at its edge, squats some gray, unvisited cottage, accessible as long as the weather holds. You turn your attention back to the ancient town sprawled out before you. Where will you find the home of your people? Alright, let's go ahead and draw our opening hand here. Alright. So we have Mind's Eye, Olive, Scene of the Crime, Guardian Angel. Well, Guardian Angel is nice because we have a very low health total. Mind's Eye is also nice. Olive's also nice. can definitely pitch the other olive for sure. Yes, bless and curse hunting, actually. I could see that, yeah. She's not the best at investigating, so having the ability to kill enemies with a shriveling and then get clues off of that, it seems pretty good. The reason we're not going with Greta, though, is because I don't really have the resources to be able to play her, so a little expensive, I think, for this deck. There's a decent amount of events, so. And we're using Mind's Eye, too, so we don't really have, like, a good way to use our spell slots to help us kill things. I'm debating on whether or not I want to get rid of Scene of the Crime as well. And let's check Orange Point here. Let's see, 2 Shroud and a single clue has an action to spend X resources to heal X horror, and an action to resign. Excellent. And a single clue. I think I could probably hold on to, or I can pitch this, rather. And we'll keep these and draw 2 new cards. And of course we draw another Scene of the Crime. That sounds about right. Let's add the 2 Bless tokens to the bag. And then when the round ends, we'll have to remember to add Bless tokens. That's going to be one of those things that I forget to do, for sure. Alright, so how are we going about our first turn here? We probably want to get Mind's Eye down. And I'm debating on whether or not I want to put one of these 2 down. I'm thinking Olive, because we can probably hold on to this for now. So second action, let's play Olive. And third action, we could investigate 2 versus 2. We could also take a resource, and then next turn we could play Guardian Angel. Which I think I'm gonna do. Alright, so there's no enemies on the board. We just spent our turn getting ready here, so we'll upkeep, resource, ooh, and a flashlight. That's actually pretty nice. Alright. 1 Doom of 5, and our encounter card is a Yule Rite. Peril, we must either... thanks, JP. Thanks for the 7 months. Appreciate it, pal. Nice to see you. Glad you're enjoying your Christmas. How was your sauna? So we must either move a cultist toward the White Church or draw cloaked figures from the set-aside deck. How exactly does that work? Doesn't say, like, how many. Oh, okay. Postponed it. So how does this work exactly? Do I just draw a single one? That's what I'm going to assume? Yeah. We find the Night Marchers aloof. During the enemy phase, if unengaged, it moves 1 location toward the White Church. When sharing a location with other cultist enemies, it gains +2 combat and +2 agility. Jesus. That's pretty brutal. Deals 2 damage. They're all the same, okay. Huh. And they're all going towards this location. And we're trying to get here? Okay. So I think this turn's probably going to be play Flashlight. So that was Mythos Phase. Alright. So let's get down our Flashlight. And let's investigate. 0 versus 2. And we forgot to add a blast token, of course. No point in using anything. Okay. -1 is a pass. Yoink. And do I move last action into the back street? I'm assuming these locations will be useful later on. So I think last action will go ahead and move into back street here. 2 shroud and a single clue. Investigators who end their turn here have to take a horror. That's not the end of the world. Alright, so enemy phase. If this thing is unengaged, it moves 1 location towards the White Church. So it's going to move here. And we'll go to Upkeep. We find a copy of Tempt Fate. So this is the other way that we're adding Bless and Curse tokens into the bag. To hopefully trigger this Covenant here. So let's go to Mythos Phase. Or 2 Doom of 5, and our encounter card is an Obscuring Fog. That's annoying. But that's alright. We could still pretty reasonably get this clue. We could Scene of the Crime if we really wanted to. Or we could just move on. I guess let's start by tempting fate here. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Draw. Oh no! At the location farthest from us. Let's see. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. So we could either put him at the White Church, or we can put him... Or we can put him here at the strange high house in the mist. Huh. Well. Where is the accursed follower going? I think I'm gonna put him up here in the White Church. Doesn't seem to be any negative consequence for that for now, but I'm going to assume it's bad. Oh, and it's even a cultist too, so it's gonna get buffed by, or it's gonna buff this thing. Could put him over here as well. Oh, that's not cryptic at all. So we're gonna have to remember to do this. Yeah, so we're saying, like, we could investigate 2 versus 4 using a charge with Mind's Eye and Flashlight, but seems like a lot just for a clue. But we don't really have much else, so I think that's what we're gonna do here. I did handpick the weaknesses. I will say that just for the purposes of trying this deck out. Yeah, it's just any time you would test with one of your skills, so you can use your willpower instead. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna 2 versus 4, and then I guess we'll go ahead and olive. And I guess we can bless plus Elder Thing? Doesn't really matter. Otherwise it'd be a -3. So. Let me make sure I take that token out of the bag here. There we go. Yeah, and Mind's Eye, I know. I think Sister Mary's actually a pretty good candidate for this card. And we get a clue, so not bad, all things considered. And then this goes away as well. So we successfully investigated. Second action, I guess we'll spend 2 clues via here to reveal the location. All right, so Green Lane is 2 shroud and a single clue, and it has an action that says spend X clues to heal X damage. And that's our... We advance when we get to this location. So we could move in advance. Or we could hold off for a turn. Yeah. I think you could build around it, though. Like, I think if you use Mind's Eye for, like, mostly your intellect, then it's probably pretty decent. That way you're not having to, like, use all of your secrets on, like, every single test. You can actually, like, use your 3 combat and your 3 agility to reasonably be able to fight things off, and then you can use your Mind's Eye charges for investigating. I think Agnes would be a little tough. But Patricia definitely makes sense for sure, too. Similar reasoning, I think. So yeah, I guess last action, let's move, and then we'll advance. The White Village had seemed very beautiful from the hill, but as you walk through the new fallen snow along labyrinthian streets, you sense an unnerving stillness. You think back to something you've heard at the station in Arkham. They must have lied when they said the trolleys ran to this place, since you see not a wire overhead. You finally stumble across a narrow street you missed. You brush snow away from the sign. The name Green Lane stirs some familiarity in you. You follow the path to the 7th house on the left, with an ancient peaked roof and jutting 2nd story. You recognize the family crest above the door as your own, although some antiquated version you have not seen before. You sound the archaic iron knocker, some unnameable fear gathering in you, perhaps because of the strangeness of your heritage and the bleakness of the evening, and the queerness of the silence in this aged town of curious customs. And when you knock... And your knock is finally answered, you are fully afraid because you did not hear any footsteps before the door creaked open. I think I watched one of your games, but I don't remember watching the Blah playthrough. That is true. The gowned, slippered old man who answers the door has a bland face that reassures you. He writes a quaint and ancient welcome with the stylus and wax tablet he carries and beckons you into a low, candle-lit room. There is a cavernous fireplace and a spinning wheel at which crouches an old woman in loose wrapper and a deep poke bonnet, silently spinning despite the festive season. The more you look at the old man's face, the more its very blandness disturbs you. But the flabby hands curiously gloved write genially on the tablet, asking for your help in procuring some items from the town for the Yuletide celebrations. As he writes the description of an ancient book without markings on the cover bound in skin. He also draws an image of your family coat of arms, but you can't quite discern its meaning. When an investigator is at a town location that has no remaining clues on it, you can draw the encounter card beneath that location. When an investigator brings in a grimoire asset to Green Lane, you advance. Alright, so pretty simple concept so far. We just have to go to these 6 locations, find a grimoire, and bring it back here. Alright, enemy phase. Let's see. This guy will move. The accursed follower will not move, but at the end of the enemy phase, we'll go ahead and add a curse token to the bag. And then we'll go into Upkeep. There we go. And we draw a second copy of Mind's Eye. Which will be nice, because now we can place secrets on this one. And we'll go to Mythos Phase. We're at 3 Doom of 5, and our encounter card for the turn is a Dissonant Voices. No essence or events. And a Bless token as well at the end of the round. Thank you, Itzel. Alright, let's... First action... Let's go here. We're gonna go to Ship Street. Ship Street has 5 Shroud and a single clue. Forced investigators who fail a skill test at Ship Street add a doom to the current agenda. You can spend a clue to discard a clue from this location. It's kind of a neat effect. 5 Shrouds, kind of a lot. We could use Scene of the Crime next turn, potentially on it, but not this turn, unfortunately. Do we move onward? I guess I should have moved here and grabbed this one, but that's okay. I also should have taken a horror from that location as well. Yeah, I guess let's move. And we'll take this as a fast action. Spell of the Eastern Sea Peril. You must move each investigator in a town location to any connecting town location. Investigators at any non-town location take a damage. Okay. That seems fine with me. Don't need the clues, you just need to clear the clues. Okay. And let's go... I guess last action we can go back here and then we can... Scene of the Crime. Okay. So that's going to be our turn, so we'll go to enemy phase. This guy's going to move. We'll add a curse token, and we're going to add a bless token at the end of the round. We find a 3rd copy of Mind's Eye. Look at that. This goes away. Go to Mythos Phase. 4 Doom, and our encounter card is a Watchers. Peril. Attach Watchers to any unrevealed location or the location with the most clues. Or I would have had to have moved here and then... No, it's fine. Whatever. I think I missed an action there, but it's fine. Let's see. So attach it to any unrevealed location or the location with the most clues. Each time an investigator successfully investigates at this location, take a horror. When there are no clues remaining at this location, discard it and add a doom to the current agenda. Oof. That's a big oof. I mean, I can just put it here, right? Because this is a location with the most clues. And, like, I'm not going to investigate here, so that's fine, right? That seems legal. All right, so let's go to our turn. Let's scene of the crime. We'll yoink this. And let's discard one of these to add 2 secrets. Okay. Yeah, second action. Well, we'll grab this first. Apparently it's a rotting remains. Alright, we're currently 4 versus 3, which I think I'm fine with. Let's olive. I guess I'll resolve these 2. Okay, it's a -0. So this one goes away. These ones get returned. Okay, that's fine. And then let's move to Water Street. All right, Water Street has 3 shroud and a single clue. Has an action that says test willpower 4 to pass by the strange stones and knock the door. If you succeed, attach the set aside terrible old man to this location. Nice reference there. We could have tanked it, but it was the only skill test I was going to make that turn, so I might as well just use olive. All right, so let's see. So this guy's going to move up here. And we're going to add a curse token to the bag. We're going to add a bless token to the bag. And go to Upkeep. We draw a second copy of Flashlight and a second resource, which is nice. Still have money for Guardian Angel, or if we need to put down another Flashlight, we have money for that as well. And we will unfortunately advance this turn, so the other things are going to get a little worse. And slowly the stars have been swallowed by a crawling gray cloud, stealing the last glimmer of sanctuary from the cobbled streets of the ancient town. A new storm begins to howl in from the black seas of infinity, obscuring the high hills above Kingsport with long tendrils of swirling snows. Anyone in those heights will surely be lost. You would best find shelter soon. Remove the strange high house in the mist location and any accompanying assets and clues from play. Each investigator at this location discards their hand and all clues and is placed at orange point. Okay. So does that mean this goes away? Or does it get placed at orange point? Question for chat. What happens to the accursed follower? I see the card text again. Just says remove the location and any accompanying assets and clues. It doesn't say what happens to the enemies. The enemy gets discarded? I mean, that's cool with me. I see 2 discards. I'm gonna go with discard. Might be in the rules reference. Yeah, right? I would assume it gets discarded as well. 17? Maybe? 15, 16, 17? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Leaves play? Maybe? All attachments, all lasting effects. Yeah, I'm going to assume it gets discarded. Usually if it doesn't get discarded, yeah. I'm going to assume it gets discarded, just from what I can find in the rules, so. Alright, so we're still in Mythos Phase, though. So that was that. So let's draw our encounter card. And we draw a Frozen in Fear, gross. That's nasty. And hopefully it doesn't affect us for too long, but let's do some investigating here. Let's go 1 versus 2, and then we can use a secret here. So it's gonna be 1 versus 4. I think I want to save Olive for this. And I'm glad I did. Okay, so go ahead and grab that clue. And let's grab this as well. And we find an old tome. Takes up a hand slot. You get +1 willpower. True, yep. It is good for Mind's Eye. I think what I want to do, maybe I move next turn. So maybe what I'll do this turn is I will put down a second flashlight. And then I'll go ahead and draw a card. We draw a copy of Radiant Smite. They can just sit at the revealed location. I mean, it says draw it. I mean, good to know. Oh, Radiant Smite for sure, yeah. For sure. The fact that it can hit elite enemies is huge. Deal 4 damage to an elite enemy, that's super good. Oh, okay. It was on Board Game Geek, that makes sense. Alright, so end of our turn, let's go ahead and test this and use Olive. We're 4 versus 3, I don't think we need to commit anything. We'll probably find a blessed token, so. Wow, and we didn't find a blessed token. It's a -2, right? So we either have to draw Cloaked Figure. Wow, how egregiously unfortunate. My hubris. This is Frozen in Fear, yeah. We were 3v4 on it. Oh no, we were 3v5. So yeah, it's still a pass. I forgot about this. Good call. Yeah. And then this guy doesn't move because he's at the location. Okay. We passed that. I don't know why that didn't go away. Let's go to Upkeep. Okay, we draw a Promise of Power. We're at 1 Doom. Let's see, so when you would add a Doom to this agenda, instead spawn cloaked figures at a town location beginning with any unoccupied. When there are 3 cloaked figures at the White Church, advance. Okay. Guess we'll put this guy here. And then kind of the same deal. Alright, and then encounter card, I'm assuming. And another copy of Rotting Remains. I mean, we can tank the horror worst comes to worst, so I don't think it's really worth using Olive here. Oof. Oof. Big oof. Alright, well, that's fine. We can tank that. We'll put 2 here, I guess, and we'll take 1. Yeesh. -6. Hurts. I forgot to add a Bless token to the bag. Man, that was brutal. So we can walk the Grimoire back. We could try to grab a couple more before we do that. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and hand this in here. So we'll spend an action to move. Yeah, good thing. Alright, so I think we just advance. Doesn't say anything about spending actions. Our Head the Burial Ground is lovely. The old man is waiting for you with some agitation when you return to the house on Green Lane. You present him with the book, which he snatches hungrily from your hands, though his face maintains the same bland expression. He is about to settle down for a thorough examination of your find when a low bell tolls somewhere far above the home on the hills of Kingsport. He writes hurriedly on the tablet, demanding that you present proof of your ancestry at the festival, as the festival is about to begin. An investigator must take control of the bland-faced man. If the investigators haven't found a seal ring, return to Act 2A. You get +2 agility. After you successfully investigate, discover an additional clue at your location. When he leaves play, each investigator takes 3 horror. The slow clap. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Oh my god, that's great. So we have 2 actions left with our turn. Let's go up again. And then let's go up to Circle Court. Whoops. Meant to just flip that over, but now we know that's a Crypt Chill. Whoopsies. All right, so Circle Court has 4 shroud and 2 clues. If an investigator at Circle Court, if there is an investigator here, other investigators can't enter here. Okay, not really much of a problem with a solo investigator. So that was 2 move actions, so that was our turn. So this guy's gonna move at the end of the enemy phase. End of the round, we will add a bless token. Let's go ahead and go to Upkeep. And we find a Crisis of Faith, oof. 1, 2, let's see, that's gonna be brutal. I think there is quite a few. Oh, goodness. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bless tokens. And we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 curse tokens in the bag. So we can, at max, we can do 4 of these. So we have to take 4 horror? Am I getting that correctly? Holy shit. I mean, it's either that or we die, so bye-bye. I don't think we need all of it anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof, my goodness. Yeah, you have to take horror. That's what I figured. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy yeesh. I know, we would still have 4 bless tokens in the bag. That should, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there should be 4 blessings in the bag as well. Weird. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, deny existence is a must. I don't even remember if I put it in the deck. I did not. Deck already had so much stuff in it. It's fine. All right, let's go to Mythos Phase. After dealing with that nonsense. Alright, so we have to put a cloaked figure into play at a town location. So he'll go here. Yeah. It's like that gif of the dog sitting in the room that's on fire. It's fine. This is fine. An encounter card? And we draw an Obscuring Fog. Well, that's poo. Okay. Unfortunate. Well, now we're really not investigating the location. Guess let's... First action... Let's move. We'll move up to Central Hill. Forest, when it invest... Oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. No. Oh, thanks, penguins. A deny would have been good there, too. And a curse. I don't know if that actually adds the tokens. Hold on. I gotta do it the hard way now. Okay. 1 of each. Okay. For balance, right, of course. If we can at least trigger that Covenant once this game, I'll be happy. So we lose all of our actions. That's wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to do with my turn. I love losing all of my actions. Oh wait, no, we can't put another curse token in the bag. There's already 10 curse tokens in the bag. Hold on. I have to redeem those points for you. Which I don't know if I can do. Pretty sure you can. Hold on. I have to open Chrome. Okay, that's fair. Just add it when I can. Fair enough. All right. So yeah, so we lost our turn, so that's great. Let's go ahead and move to enemy phase, I guess. This guy's gonna move up. And then this guy will also move up. Okay, this is going swimmingly. Let's go to Upkeep. Draw a police badge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Police badge is pretty good too. And we draw another cloaked figure, and he's going to spawn here. And then we'll draw an encounter card. And we draw an Ancient Evils, oh my goodness. So we draw another cloaked figure, and he's gonna spawn here. Oh, good God. Well, this escalated quickly. After I lost a whole turn. Crab apples. I mean, I guess we could investigate. We could try to, like, kill this guy and buy ourselves a couple more turns. We could engage. Could engage and try to Radiant Smite the shit out of it. Which isn't a terrible idea. I also should have added a Bless token to the bag for being Sister Mary in general. So I kind of like that idea. So I think I'm going to engage first action. And then second action, let's smite. There should be... we're going to need at least 2, right? Because we... Or 3. We need all 3 because we need to deal 4 damage. Killing is good. So there's our 3 tokens. So we get +1 for each one. So 7, 8. 8 versus 2. Seems good. All right. No whammies, no whammies. Eight versus 2. 8 versus... Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoo! -6. Oh my god. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoo, my goodness. Just barely enough. Oh, hey, Solar J. So that's enough. Holy jeebus. You die. And then these go away, right? These get... Yeah, they get returned to the token pool. Nice. Cool. And then we have 1 action left with our turn, so I guess we can investigate. Let's investigate and use Mind's Eye. 2 versus 4. 2 versus 5, excuse me. Bless. -1. Okay. And that's a clue. All right. So that's our turn. This guy's gonna go ahead and move up. He's also gonna go ahead and move up. Okay. That's enemy phase. Go to upkeep. Draw 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we draw another cloaked figure. And oh, this guy would have moved up as well. And this guy is here, and then we'll draw our encounter card. And we draw a Spell of the Eastern Sea, so we have to move to a connecting town location. Which is either going back to Circle Court, or we go to Market Square. Yeah, it's Christmas, exactly. I guess I'll go here into Market Square. Whoops. Keep doing that. Market Square is 3 Shroud, 2 Clues. While cultist enemies are at this location, it cannot be investigated. That's rude. Okay. That's that. Fortunately, we can't play the 45 and shoot it twice and engage. I don't think I added a bless token for Sister Mary either. And then we have to add that curse token. So how do I go about this? I could engage and tank. We could engage and evade, because we're at a 5. We could evade this guy for a turn. Well, that must be nice. No work until January. I have 2 4-day weekends, to be fair. I only have to go back into work for another few days. Won't be that bad. Man, this is tough. Like, we can't investigate here anyway, but I'd rather try to kill the guy if I can, but I don't think I can. Because it'd have to be... Oh, I don't even have enough resources, so that's kind of a moot point. So we could engage, evade, move. I would buy us a turn, but not really. Alternatively, we could... You have to go back on your birthday. Nobody likes to work on their birthday. I don't think anybody likes to do much of anything on their birthday. Let's see. So if I engage, evade, move, that other cultist will move. He'll move up. This guy will move here. This guy will move here. This guy will ready during upkeep. That doesn't really seem like a good plan. If I engage, shoot... I can't engage shoot, because I'd have to gain a resource. and then play, and then engage, and then that's just a waste. I can't... Sucks. Like, there's likely a Tome asset here as well. I think what I'll do is I will play place match. No, I need to kill these cultists, so I think I'll gain a resource. Fortunately, we'll have to get rid of the old Tome. Play the 45. Bit of an unfortunate turn, but it is what it is. Because if I guess the other thing I could do is like move twice and try to investigate here. But due to my own flubbery, we know that that's a crypt chill, so. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there's no way of avoiding it, I think. We're gonna need to fight. So this guy's gonna move here, this guy will move, whoops. Move. We'll go to Upkeep. We draw Take the Initiative. That's a good draw. Alright. Last cloaked figure. Go here. We still can't investigate our location. And we really can't investigate a location. Attached to the location with the most clues. This has 2, this has 2, this has 2. So we'll put it here. And that's our turn. So we can... I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point to try to kill these cultists. Because we could engage, shoot, shoot. And that would be our turn. Okay, so I guess first action, engage. Second action, shoot. 2 versus 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 2 versus 5 is probably enough. Famous last words. 2 versus 5 is enough to deal 2 damage. Then second action, we'll shoot again. Or third action, excuse me. 5 versus 2. Let's commit steadfast, just to be safe. And a +1, of course. Couldn't draw like a curse token or something. Alright, so that guy will get discarded. And that's our turn. So unfortunately, this guy and this guy all move here. This guy moves as well. And there are 3, so we advance. If the Pillar of Flame is not in play, the flaming column looms above or over you, spouting volcanically from the depths profound and inconceivable. It casts no shadows as healthy flames should, and coats the nitrous stone above with a nasty venomous verdigris. Place the Pillar of Flame into play at the Stygian Grotto and return to Agenda 4A. Wait, what? Agenda 4A? Oh, whoops, there we go. There we go. Haha. I was like gonna say, what is happening here? Right. The hushed throngs of cloaked figures oozing in the streets gather tightly about you. You are jostled by the elbows that seem preternaturally soft and pressing chests and stomachs that seem abnormally pulpy. But you never see a face or hear a word. Up, the eerie columns slither with you in tow. Still more of the slouching townsfolk converge as you flow up crazy alleys and leaning streets toward a high hill in the center of the town, where perches a great white church. Spawn any of the remaining cloaked figure in town locations, beginning with those unoccupied. Reveal the white church location. And they will get spawned over here. Yes, the squishy cultists. The squishy cultists. Okay. That is a lot of cultists. Alright, through serpentine streets, you fight against a crowd as it undulates incessantly uphill. The few lights in the windows are snuffed out as still more furtive figures surge dully into the streets. You look back over a shoulder. The only light in town seems to come from the windows of a fearsome archaic cottage crouched near the black waters of the harbor. Your feet slip onto the slimy sheen of snow as you are twisted back around and upward. When you would add a doom to the agenda, instead remove one cloaked figure location from the white church. When 6+ figures are at the white church, advance. Two Storm of Spirits would be really good. Just or just go in with a flamethrower. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, chat gets it. I love the idea of Sister Mary with a flamethrower. That sounds great, though. She bathes her enemies in the Lord's light. For the night is dark and full of terrors. That's going to dance very quickly, if that's the case. Did we draw our encounter card? I don't think we did. Because we drew locked door last turn, right? Yeah, because we shot and killed that thing. And a Yulebrite. You must either move each cultist enemy towards the white church, or draw from the set-aside deck, which I cannot do. So this guy's gonna move, this guy's gonna move. So we've killed all the other ones. I feel like there might be something I'm missing here. Are the... Yeah, anytime they're killed, you have to return them back to the deck. All right. Well, that makes things pretty simple for us if that's the case. Let's move, engage, shoot, take 2 damage. Move, engage, and shoot. We're 2 versus 5 on this test, which I think will be enough. Oh no. If you fail, draw an encounter card. Gross. No. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, this just got bad quickly. Right, so end of our turn. Let's test Frozen in Fear. Let's commit a Promise of Power. That's going to be 4-8 versus 3. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Wow. I think I failed that one. Holy shit. I did, that's true. Wow, so many curses out of the bag in one single go. That's hilarious. A measly -12. Well, I think I'm still frozen in fear. This guy's gonna move to our location, which unfortunately buffs our guy. But this guy's engaged with us, so we're gonna take 2 damage. Should have committed more. And we find it uncaged the soul. Right, so this triggers, so we have to move 1 cloaked figure towards the White Church. It's going to be this one. And we draw an encounter card, which is Bobbing Lanthrons. Revelation, if there are no cultist enemies in play. Draw a cloaked figure. Otherwise, attach it to a cultist enemy. Limit 1 per enemy. Attached enemy loses aloof and gains hunter. Okay, it's fine. These are pretty tame encounter cards overall. I have to say. Unfortunately, losing that bullet sucks. And now having to deal with a Frozen in Fear is kind of terrible. Yeah. Well, let's guess shoot. 5 versus 2? No, it'd be 5 versus 4. Let's commit, take the initiative for +3. We were at a 5, 8 versus 4. Can you make a cultist hunt back to you? I could. It doesn't say you can't. So you could. You could, in theory, like, put one of them here and have them, like, go down and try to kill you. The reason I don't want to do that is because I only have 5 health and I need to get this down first before I think about taking damage. So if we're at 8 versus 4 here, oh no, we're 5 versus 2 currently. I forgot that that cultist moved. I don't think it'd be a bad plan, like, if I had the ability to, like, kill this guy and move, it would be a great move, I think. But because I don't really have the ability to either soak a hit or probably kill this guy this turn, we're likely gonna have to figure out something else. Yeesh. So, did I add the blessed token to the bag? I did not. So I need to add that. We could evade, too. Could evade 2 versus 5. Because we have the bland-faced man over here. So that's a possibility as well. This is tough. Yeah. Because we don't have enough bullets to be able to kill him. So I think we're just gonna have to evade him. So I guess kind of the same plan. We'll go 5-8 versus 2. Okay. Excessive, but fine. And at least this guy will... He'll try to hunt us instead of moving around. And then... so yeah, last action we'll move back into the market square here. And that will be our turn. So enemy phase, not much is going to happen. But this guy will ready during upkeep. We'll go ahead and add a blessed token to the bag. Before I forget again. And... well, I should have tested this first. So let's do that. 6. Okay. All right, let's go to Upkeep here. And there's a take the initiative. That's a good draw. All right. So let's see here. So when we would add a Doom, it would move him. But this says to ignore all other movement instructions, so. Oh, a cat. I think I can manage that. Give me 1 second here. Let's draw our encounter card, and then we'll go get him. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Let me just draw my encounter card here. And another bobbing lanthorns. Well then. We've got some enemies on us. All right, let me go get one of the cats real quick. Mally. Can you say hello, Mally? Or do you just have a squishy face? Mally. Oh, fine. Be that way. Stupid squish face. What'd you do, like run into a wall? Melly? Whatever. Melly. Just don't step on the keyboard, Melly. There you go. There you go. It's fine, Melly. It's fine. Melly. Yeah. Mellie's a sweetheart. Just don't catch her at feeding time. She's a handful at that time. Oh Jesus. All right, so we're gonna have to deal with these two things coming at us. Guess let's start by investigating, since we can finally do that. Let's see. Currently, one versus 2. We can go 1 versus 4. Do we need to commit anything? I don't think so. 1 versus 4. Oh my god, dude, she's so loud. She just does not stop meowing at that point. And we get both clues because we have Mr. Blandface Man over here. Oops. Nice. So let's grab this. And we find an Eldritch Folio. Do we want to take it? I think we can because we already have a second Mind's Eye in our hand. And I don't know how much more investigating we're gonna have to do. So I think we can take this in place of the flashlight. And then we can move and move. That can be our turn. That seems fine, right? Then this guy will come here. And this guy's gonna move back down here. All right. Well, we're still looking for the sealed ring, right? So maybe I should have moved here. I'm assuming this is the sealed ring. Since this is kind enough to label it as a grip gel. You might want to head out of town. What, resign? It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Let's go to Mythos Phase. Draw Promise of Power. Spoiler alert, jeez. Viralum? Huh. I've never heard of it. Give me the synopsis real quick. Did I go to Upkeep? Yeah, we drew a Promise of Power. Alright. And then there's no enemies to move. And we draw a Crypt Chill. Currently 4-4. If we fail, we have to choose and discard an asset. If we can't, take 2 damage. 4v4. Let's add a Bless token to the bag. I guess I can afford to lose the 45. I could lose the Mind's Eye, but I'd prefer not to. Oh, that's unfortunate. I could lose the Eldritch Folio as well, but I think I'll just lose the 45. Couple goes to look for a house and buy, and they're stuck in a new suburb. Identical houses as far as the eye can see. You can't get out from anywhere. Huh. And then we have to draw one of these. Alright. Our turn. We still have yet to have this trigger. Let's discard this. Add 2 more secrets. Let's play Guardian Angel to have some extra soak. First action. I'm very confused. So if I move here and do that, there's no point, so I need to find the seal ring somehow. Which I have no idea how to do. Is it even, like, set aside? Like, it seems logical that this would be the seal ring. But chat is telling me that it's not. It's on the grave. Over here in the burying ground. Alright, then we'll move. And then, let's see. Enemy phase, this guy will move. This guy's gonna move here. That's gonna be that. There, we'll go to Upkeep. We draw Steadfast. And then we don't have any enemies to move, so we ignore this. And then we just draw an encounter card. And we draw a copy of Locked Door. It just currently has to go here. Right, so we'll move up to the burying ground. Aha, there it is. Let's see. So it's 3 Shroud, 2 Clues. It has an action to test combat 7 to exhume the grave. You get +1 combat for each clue discarded. All right, so question with Mind's Eye. No, this has 2 clues. Well, it should have 2 clues. So, yeah, question. If we use Mind's Eye... We don't get a buff if we use the ability to discard clues, right? Is that how... Am I reading that correctly? I mean, I'm going to assume that. Let's see. We have 7. So this gives us 2. 2, 4. That's 6. So that would be 2. This would be 6. You don't understand the question. My question is, if you use Mind's Eye to change something to a willpower test, do you get the buff for discarding clues here? It doesn't matter too much. It only gives me a +1, but that's what I would assume too. Kind of like matching icons on skill tests. But figured it was worth asking. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Just want to make sure there's correct amount of. Right. Yeah. That's what I figured. All right. So we've given ourselves 6. So that's 9. Let's go 8 or 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 14 should be enough, right? Yeah, let's do 14. If I draw an auto fail now, I think I just flipped the table. Okay, alright, that's fine. I think we passed this test here. Right. So if we succeed, we found a sealed ring. And then we move back this way. Yeah, that's fine. This guy's gonna hit us for 2. So we'll go ahead and put a damage here and take a damage. And then we'll add a bless token. And then we'll add another bless token at the end of the round. This guy will move down this way. This guy's gonna move this way. Oops. This guy's engaged with us. What, that there used to be a gray and looming tower? Or that your eyes came alive and something. Oh my god. Ooh, manipulate destiny. Here we go. That could be fun. Mythos Phase, we'll move this guy here. And we'll draw our encounter card. And we draw Dissonant Voices, lame. Alright, well let's start with evading this guy here. 2 versus 5. Seems like enough. Hopefully. Bless. -1 is enough. Okay. We have evaded this guy. Let's move. I guess we'll evade. Yeah, we'll have to evade this guy too. Yeah, there's no way that we get around that, unfortunately. So we'll move, and then we have to evade this guy as well. And 2 versus 5. Okay. And that's a pass as well. Alright, enemy phase. This guy moves up. This guy will ready. And this guy will ready, re-engage us. Go to upkeep. Okay, we draw Uncage the Soul. This will go away. We'll add a blast token to the bag. go to Mythos Phase. So none of these guys move. And we draw an Ancient Evils, which does nothing. Alright, so this guy. Again, let's... well, this doesn't really do a whole lot. So we could use Manipulate Destiny here to try to get a couple extra damage, or at least a little extra value out of it. The healing would actually be pretty nice. But the damage isn't like the end of the world. So I think I'm gonna try it. Let's manipulate destiny here. And let's reveal tokens. Oh. Alright, well, we reveal curse tokens. Alright, so we deal 2 damage to this guy. Which is probably not going to be the most useful. Let's evade 2 versus 5. Okay, pass. And let's move here and advance. So we actually have the seal ring. Attach a grimoire to the bland-faced man. Reveal the White Church location. Okay. That gets attached to that guy. My sister Mary just uses them as resources, mostly for right. She uses the economy for the whole team. Yeah. There's a lot of... I think there's a lot of things you could potentially do. Yeah, I didn't think that Curse and Bless would have an effect on, like, the actual games, like, on a scenario-by-scenario basis. But I do think that the Curse and Bless mechanic severely affects the way that you have to design the player cards for this entire set. Right, because if you make a card that's good on its own merit without Curse and Bless stuff, and then you add that stuff to it, then it just becomes, like, super good. Which is kind of the reason I don't like the Faustian Bargain Deep Knowledge cards. Not because I don't think they're good, quite the opposite. It's that they're very pushed, and they just don't seem to, like, have much of a negative downside to them. Especially if you're making curse tokens, like, beneficial for you, then it's just all upside. So a card like Faustian Bargain just feels really pushed to me. I do like the Favor of the Sun and the Moon cards. I think those are cool. Yeah, no, I think that's cool, for sure. Right. Did we draw any counter card? I don't think we did. Because we don't move any enemies. There's no enemies, so... We find a Nameless Menace. Move all cultist enemies. Alright, I think I missed Upkeep. I did. I missed Upkeep and a bunch of shit here. Like losing track of what's going on. Upkeep. Alright. Move all cultist enemies one location toward the White Church. Any investigators engaged with cultist enemies move with them. If no cultist enemies are in play, add a doom to the agenda. Okay, well, that doesn't really affect much. These guys don't move. They ignore all other moving instructions, so... Cool. So we advanced. We got the old Falcon Punch, that's right. Let's add a bless token. Just want to make sure I have enough for later on. Let's make sure we add the bless token. Give that a shuffle, and what's our objective now that we've advanced? When all the investigators reach the White Church, advance. Oh, well, fun. Let's first action. Play the police badge. Let's then move, I guess. You gotta go fast. So now these guys are gonna start chasing me. Let's move and then I guess move? Sure. Enemy phase. This guy moves. This guy moves. Okay, and then we'll go to Upkeep. We'll draw a second police badge, okay. Mythos Phase, these guys don't move. They ignore all other movement instructions, and an Ancient Evils, which is again useless. So I'm assuming that this isn't quite how it's supposed to play out. This feels a little bugged, I don't know. Like this is like, this feels like it's taking forever. I don't know if it's just me. I mean, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, so clearly it's taking a while. I guess this would be my only real criticism of the scenario so far, is that this part just feels like slow, like it's not well paced enough. I would consider maybe changing the number to be like 5 or like 4 plus the number of investigators or something like that. Maybe just tweak it a little bit. And I think like some of these encounter cards kinda don't work as intended. Like I think this bobbing lanthorns can create these weird situations. You didn't get the lanthorns card, so you had a lot of cultists at this stage and it went quicker. Yeah, I could see that, but this lanthorns card seems to really slow. Like if you can get the board to like a state like this lanthorns card can really make the game the agenda kind of come to a crawl. And then once that happens, a lot of the cards feel pretty useless. At least from the encounter deck, so. Yeah, I don't know like if I'm playing it wrong or what, but it's just kind of strange. Okay, we took our turn, right? Like really misremembering what's going on here. Yeah, because we moved. We drew this. I think we're drawing a card here, yeah. Like, yeah, like this card doesn't do anything. It just moves them, but if I have the lanthorns in play, it ignores it. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I'm like playing those wrong, but I mean, it does say to ignore all other movement instructions, so. Going here makes me lose all of my actions, so I might as well do stuff. Got 4 cards. Let's draw. First action. Second action, let's guess draw again. Draw a ward of radiance. Wow, I don't know why that was so hard to say. And last action move. Go up here. And then we'll lose all of our actions. This guy's going to move. Move here. He's gonna move here. All right, we'll go to upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would draw another Tempt Fate. And go to Mythos Phase. Still ignoring the movement here. So we'll go ahead and draw. And we draw Watchers. Let's see, attach it to any unrevealed location or the location with the most clues. Each time an investigator successfully investigates a location, take a horror. When there are no clues remaining on it, discard it and add it to the agenda. I guess I'll put it here. Another kind of weird nombo, too. Because you can't investigate, right? So you can't trigger this. It's just a little weird, kind of couple things like that are strange to me. It makes sense. There's no other enemies, really, so the hunter aspect would be pointless if the pull of the church overrode it. Right, right. Oh, it does. Oh, you're saying like you played it that way. I mean, normally it would, but I think given the board state, like this Lanthorn's card just prevents that from happening, so. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to do that. Whoops. Yeah, so what's our turn looking like here? I guess our turn is move. Like, all these guys lose a loop, or all these guys have a loof. I mean, move in, I guess. I don't know what happens, but we're gonna find out. Let's see. As the throngs pour through the dark aperture into the church, the old man, your relation, pulls at your sleeve, tough to find yourself determined by some unnameable dread to be the last. You cannot shake the image of the cloaked horde, who left no footprints behind them in the snow. Investigators may spend X clues to remove X number of cultist enemies from the church. Okay, so I will definitely spend my 2 clues to remove 2 cultists. Okay. So that was that. You pause to let your eyes adjust to the interior of the church, lit only by a dull glow as the last of the throng is vanishing up the aisle between the high white pews. They squirm noiselessly down the trap door of the vaults, which yawns loathsomely open just before the pulpit. The doors of the church shut behind you as the old man pulls you dumbly down the foot-worn steps into the dark, suffocating crypt. Place the set-aside Stygian Grotto location into play and move all investigators and enemies from the White Church to the Stygian Grotto and advance to Act 4A. All right. When it's revealed, place the set-aside amorphous flute player, hybrid winged thing, and worm throng into play. It has 1 shroud and 2 clues. Oops. So we have the... What was it again? Where was it? There it is. The amorphous flute player. Hybrid winged thing. And the worm throng. Yeah, a little bit. Very messy board, I will say that. Alright, so we spawned all those enemies. And advance the act. Advance to agenda foray. Alright. After aeons of descent down past impious catacombs of nameless menace, you emerge upon the boundless vista of an inner world. A vast fungus shore is lit by a belching column of sickish green flame and washed by a wide, oily river that flows from the abyss, frightful and unsuspected, to join the blackest gulfs of the immemorable ocean. You throw yourself into the underground river. Resolution 1. Forced when an investigator successfully attacks an enemy, all enemies lose aloof. When investigators are defeated, advance. Yeah. Hi. When an investigator deals damage to an enemy at the Stygian Grotto, flip the bland-faced man over. The investigators may spend 2 clues to join the ancestral ritual. Advance to Act 4B Family. If all the enemies of the Stygian Grotto are defeated, advance to Act 4B Festival. Okay. Damn. So this ends very quickly all of a sudden. Alright, so I've got 2 actions left. And these 3 things, which I didn't even read here. Alright, so the amorphous flute player, servitor of the outer gods, is a prey, highest willpower, aloof. Each investigator at its location gets -2 willpower, -2 combat. The hybrid winged thing, 4/5/3, aloof, retaliate, prey, lowest agility, and the worm throng is a 4/5/2 enemy, aloof, massive. At the beginning of the enemy phase, remove all cultist enemies from the grotto. The worm throng gains +X health, where X is equal to the number of cultist enemies removed this phase. But thankfully, they're all aloof. So I just need a couple of clues in order to advance. Unfortunately, I can't use Scene of the Crime, so I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way here. Let's Mind's Eye. Currently out of 5. 5 versus 1. Seems fine. They're aloof until you deal damage to an enemy. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I read that correctly as well. Throw yourself in the river. That's really funny. I'm assuming that should be a resign ability. Yeah, trying to remember where it says if you attack one, they all... I'm pretty sure that was what it was. That seems ridiculous. There's no wonder you'd want to be able to do that with multiple players. Oh, and then you'd have to kill this guy too. Jesus. Yeah, I don't really know either, to be honest with you. There it is. Well, so yeah, you could in theory, like when you originally move into the church, you could make sure you have enough clues to be able to get rid of all the cultists. And then go from there. We were investigating 1 versus 4. Let's go 1 versus... I guess we'll commit this as well. All right, that's 1 clue, and then last action, we'll Mind's Eye again, trying to grab that other clue. 6, 7. All right, there you go. Oh, well, that guy would mess with my willpower. So I guess that's kind of a problem? No. Weirdly enough. All right, I forgot about the -2 there. Let me just rewind those 2 actions. So this guy gives you -2 willpower. So I'd currently have a 3 willpower. Which I mean is still a buff. You don't need to exhaust, so you can only use it. Wait, what? Doesn't say anything about exhausting. Just says when you would test, spend a secret. If you've been playing it like exhaust, then I guess you're wrong. So, I mean, I'd be 3 versus 1 here. We could go like 4, 5, 6. Automatically pass! We did it! We did it! Yes! Yes! Finally! Only took us all game! But we finally did it. It's a Christmas miracle. We did it. Woo! All right, we definitely grabbed that clue. Let's Mind's Eye again. And we'll just commit every other willpower icon that we have. Let's see, we were 3, right? We started at a 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a -4, and it was a 1, so that's enough. And then we'll go ahead and spin those 2 clues. I mean, yeah, I guess you technically do, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, point is that we grab the last 2 clues that we need to advance. Because we're going to advance to family. So we'll join in on the ancestral ritual. And we get resolution 2. You join in with the throng, your family, as you throw into the water handfuls gouged out of the viscous vegetation which glitter green in the clitoric. Wow, never seen that word before. Glare. You share all the absences. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's the point. The point is that we actually got the covenant to trigger. Blah blah blah. Wow. Obsequiences. Because you have summoned to the festival by the writings of your forefathers, then the old man makes a signal to the half-seen flute player in the darkness, changing its feeble drone to a scarce louder drone in another key, precipitating as it does. So a horror unthinkable and unexpected as the horror you sink nearly into the lichened earth, transfixed with dread. With a dread not of this nor any world, but only of the mad spaces between the stars. Resolution 2. My goodness, that is tiny. At the hospital, you were told that you were found half frozen in the Kingsport Harbor at dawn. They say you must have taken the wrong fork of the hill road the night before and fallen over at the cliffs at Orange Point. You have difficulty protesting, your words flopping out slurred. A fever, they say, though you remain cold to the touch with a grayish cast on your skin. The broad window shows you glimpses of an alien city. They insist that this is Kingsport and will not hear the pleas you scrawl with stylus on tablet to be sent home. Home again, deep beneath the sepulchral earth, to be with family. The garish decorations in the hospital and the cheerful voices in the streets assail you. Yeah. Oh, thanks, JP. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Pen. Thanks for joining in on all the festivities. We're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon here anyway, so nice to see you guys. Merry Christmas, and I think my wife and I might actually do a stream tomorrow night, too. So we'll see. Might play some Alien, might play some Hades. We'll see. We're not going anywhere this weekend, so... So we are transferred to St. Mary's Hospital in Arkham. We like it there, for the doctors are broad-minded and even lend their influence in obtaining the carefully sheltered copy of Alhazred's Necronomicon from the library of the Miskatonic University. One passage you read is not new to you. You can hear the words echoed in sunless caverns as you stare in the mirror at your peeling skin and your strange, roomy eyes. Your mind returns again and again to the comforting passage. The nethermost caverns, he writes, the mad Arab, are not for the fathoming of eyes that that see, for their marvels are strange and terrific. Cursed the ground where the dead thoughts live, new and oddly bodied, and evil the mind that is held by no head. Wisely did Ibn Shikagabao say that happy is the tome where no wizard hath lain, and happy the town at night whose wizards are all ashes. For it is an old rumor that the soul of the devil-bought hastes not from his charnel clay, but fats and instructs the very worm that gnaws, till out of corruption horrid life springs, and the dull scavengers of earth, the waxy crafty to vex it, and swell monstrous to plague it. Wow, this is just a soup salad right here. Yeah, Chocobo. Great holes secretly are dug, I'm assuming, where earth's pores ought to suffice, and things have learnt to walk that ought to crawl. In your campaign, record that the investigators have the Kingsport look. Each investigator suffers one physical trauma and must search the collection for a psychosis weakness. Each investigator earns victory X, which I don't think was any. We earned 0 experience, which is disappointing. All right. Pretty good scenario. Let's quickly wrap this stream up here. So what did I think about the festival? I think overall it's fun. There's a couple little things I think I would change about it, honestly. I would definitely give the players some experience. For sure. I think that getting 0 experience, even with that ending, doesn't really make much sense. So I'd like to see a couple more experience points strewn about the scenario. Even if there was like 1 or 2 on the Stygian Grotto or whatever. You know, like if you're gonna go that route, at least put a couple of victory points there. Especially if you're playing it as part of a campaign and you spend like 3 experience playing it and you get nothing out of it, that would feel frustrating in my opinion. And then the other thing I would fix is just like how many XP does it take to put into a campaign? I would assume 2 or 3. Yeah, it costs 2 experience. So yeah, I mean, you get nothing out of it, which is kind of disappointing. It's a fun scenario. I like what it's doing. I always tend to like the bigger map scenarios, even though they take up a lot of room on the board. But I could see that this scenario has... Oh, I get a trauma. How exciting. That's right, I get 1 physical trauma and a weakness. Yeah. Like, at least, like, a couple. Like, throw me a bone here, you know? So that's a little disappointing. And then that little hiccup that we had towards the middle, where the lanterns, the bobbing lanterns or whatever, caused the agenda to kind of bug out and not work as intended, I think. So I'd almost just say, like, take those out of the deck. You only got the trauma for the river. So what did you end up doing, Witzel? Did you just like toss yourself into the river? Because the other ending seems very difficult to get. Because you have to kill 3 decent-sized enemies, which seems tough. And then they all engage you at once. So in solo, that's probably a little too much. Unless you're a guardian and you can just blast things to high heaven. But even still, I think like Nathaniel Cho could probably do that. He's got shit tons of damage. You had all the cultists and 3 enemies. Did you not have any clues towards the end? Yeah, in multiplayer, for sure, you need a tank. You need somebody to be able to have those enemies engaged with them and deal with it. It's rough. It's too rough otherwise. In solo, it would just take you too many turns, I think, to kill them all. If we take a quick look here. So this is the deck that we ended up playing. I think I like the idea of it overall. It would definitely change a couple of things. Like you said, JP, earlier, I would definitely add Deny Existence. Probably definitely over this Ward of Radiance, which was negligible. And it's a big map too, which is tough. I didn't think the map was the biggest restriction, honestly. Because the map gets smaller as the game goes on. It doesn't get bigger, which is good. And Olive was kind of meh. But I think aside from that, the deck is decent. Manipulate Destiny is probably also not great. So I could see taking that out and putting something in that's a little more useful. You can get a boost. Oh, from the house and the high mist or whatever. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I would try this scenario again. I don't think I'm like rushing out to play it, but I would definitely play this again for sure. I think of all the fan-mades I've played so far, I think Against the Wendigo is probably still my favorite, but I think this one takes second place for me. It's very well made, and the scenario itself has a lot going for it. So, yeah, I like it. You think you can get a boost? Not sure what it is, but yeah. You can get victory points, and then you. So it has 2 shroud and 3 clues, and it has 2 victory points. And then you can attach the set aside blessing of Nodens, which, let's see what that does real quick here. It's got 2 wild icons as an asset that costs 0. Parlay. Test willpower 5 to appeal to Nodens for your protection. If you succeed, take control of it. If you fail, add a doom to the agenda. And then it has a fast action to exhaust it. And basically Pathfinder. It lets you move to a connecting location. And then as an action, you can discard it to remove an enemy at your location from play. The enemy cannot be added to the victory display. So interesting. I'd probably just have that action just say non-elite enemy or something like that. But that's just a little nitpick. Yeah, I would highly recommend Against the Wendigo. It's, I think, one of the better fan-made scenarios. There's a couple mechanics in it that feel a little dated. But I think that's more just because of when it was designed. The only fan-made scenario I haven't really enjoyed was Grand Oak Hotel. That one just felt too long for me. It was really long, and it was really poorly paced, in my opinion. But this one was well paced for the most part, I think, just apart from that bug with the Lanthrons. Because clearly I would have advanced much faster. And then we would have been probably would have been screwed, but that is neither here nor there at this point. But yeah, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I think my wife is just about to get up, so I'm gonna get some lunch and hang out with her. But I hope you guys enjoy your holiday and stay safe. You know, it's a little rough out there. But I should be back tomorrow with Hannah, and we'll yeah, Wendigo is great, but it is hard to beat, that is for sure. I really like the story in that scenario quite a bit. It's really good. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out on Christmas Eve and watching me play a very festive themed Arkham scenario.